Terry and I are in a state park in Grand Junction, Colorado. We're on our way to Oklahoma, and we're spending 2 days here because I have an appointment at the local Cummins repair shop. And while it's a nice state park, it isn't a place that we really set out to stay at. But one of the risks anytime you're in a motorhome or anything else that depends upon mechanics to function properly, you run into those days when it doesn't. And I really don't have any complaints on the main mechanical systems of our RV. They've been pretty solid. However, and that's my toolbox, air compressor. I basically have a full set of tools to work on both vehicles and the motorhome, although I don't really have heavy enough duty stuff to do a lot of real true truck work, so I tend to go ahead and rely on the Cummins dealerships to work on anything engine related. And you can see that the back of the RV is very dirty, and what doesn't show up right now because we've been driving in rain is that the back end of it has been coated with oil, and as has the front of the car. And you can kind of get a feel for it looking there at the license plate, how dirty that is. Again, it's because we've been driving in rain that the dirt is stuck and covered up the oil. But basically, the whole front of the car was splattered with oil after a day's drive the other day. And that's never a good thing to be blowing oil out of any engine, let alone a diesel engine. So tomorrow we find out if it's something simple, which on this engine it is possible that it's something simple. The breather system wasn't done very well on these ISC engines to begin with, and they do have an upgrade for it. But that assumes that you don't have a blow-by problem. So what I'm going to have them do tomorrow is test the engine for blow-by, and based on the results of that, either upgrade the breather kit or get into the more serious issue of why suddenly we've got a bunch of blow-by. Shouldn't happen on an engine with just 100,000 miles on it. These are normally good for 300,000 or 400,000 miles without too much trouble. Besides the stuff that sticks onto the engine. But when you have blow-by, a lot of times it can be an internal engine issue. And of course, I've got my fingers crossed that that's not the case, because we're talking some serious cash outlay if it is. So anyway, very disappointed to have this happen. But when you live in a mechanical device, you're subject to mechanical breakage, and especially when you buy an RV that's used and 15 years old, you've got to expect to have a few things. But I certainly wouldn't have expected anything major. So tomorrow we find out. Well, the good news is the oil coming out the back of my engine is not due to any kind of catastrophic engine failure. And in fact, as a result of issues with the original design of the crankcase breathing system on this particular motor. As the motor ages and gets a little blow-by, the system can't vent properly enough to keep from spewing little oil out. Little oil goes a long way on messing up your Toad. So here we are. They ordered the parts to fix it, and we are camping free of charge, sort of, in the Cummins Coach Care facility in Grand Junction. And they provide a 50 amp hookup and a nice level parking place. are. Come tomorrow, my oil problem should be solved without the issue of a major engine component failure. So that right there is my view of driving the RV down the road with my partners. Gizzy with his chin right on your leg.
And me thinking, always thinking. I'm just a thinker.
Always thinking.
Man, alive.
Yeah, we're down south
What's the temperature? Look on the gauge.
48.
Fudge! We need some like air on it. No furnace.
In a moment, as soon as I'm done getting this incredible panorama. Why I can't think of the other name for Milo is beyond me. We're